Welcome, welcome guys to my channel once again. My name is Code, I'm a marketing professional and a marketing trainer. In this video, we're going to look at proven techniques to get past gatekeepers in sales. As a salesperson, you are almost always likely to come across gatekeepers. You make a call to a company and you hear that voice answers, "How can I help?" That is the gatekeeper. 80% of decision makers in mid-sized companies rely on assistants, administrative assistants, and receptionists to protect them from distraction from sales calls. They are not just receptionists, but they are people that help prevent unnecessary access to busy executives within the company. Now, in this video, we're going to look at how you'll be able to get past gatekeepers and reach out to decision makers. The first thing you need to get to know is that you need to have a change in mindset about gatekeepers. They are your friends, they are your allies, right? And not your adversary. Their role is to protect their boss and filter out junk so that your bosses can focus on what they do. First of all, understand the gatekeeper's role and motivation. They are the people that are able to spot fake pitches and save time for the executives. So acknowledge this. So most of the time, it is important to recognize the fact that you need to show respect to them. So for example, you can say, "I know you are busy keeping things on track." It is always important, as a matter of fact, to research and find out their names and titles. So for example, is secretary to the sales manager, executive assistant to the procurement manager, etc. So it is important to research about them. Spend some time researching before you call. Check their LinkedIn profile. Then from there on, you go ahead to talk to them. Always, as a matter of fact, find out about their interest through LinkedIn and use that. Don't just go and become sales. Or one thing you need to figure out is that you need to understand the power of mutual respect. And in order to be able to build that power of mutual respect with gatekeepers, it is important to research them. You see, they can easily hang up on generic pitches. Is your boss in? For example, you call a receptionist, "Is your boss in?" This can easily land you elsewhere. Research very well and make sure you create the intention that you respect them. So use their name. "Hi, Mrs. Sarah or Miss Sarah. This is Johnson from IT Solutions." If they sound stressed, then you also need to respect the fact that they sound stressed. So this sounds like a busy morning. I won't take much time, right? So you can use this strategy, as a matter of fact, to reach out and get to them. It is also important, as a matter of fact, to use LinkedIn to research about the company structure. This will let you know who a gatekeeper is reporting to, because gatekeepers are not only receptionists. Like I told you, it could be executive assistant to procurement, executive assistant to sales, executive assistant to operations, right? So use LinkedIn to research about the company structure. Spot who the gatekeepers bosses. Understand the flow, right? And then frame your pitch around that. You can make use of Sales Navigator. Try and connect with both the gatekeeper and the gatekeeper's boss. I am reaching out because of Mrs. Liza. Maybe Mrs. Liza is the gatekeeper's boss. This adds some kind of oomph and it really pays off. This makes you speak with context and you'll be able to bypass gatekeepers. Another thing you need to look at is the art of initial call. Always get to understand that these gatekeepers receive lots of calls from salespeople. So they have been able to sieve fail pitches and fail scripts from scripts that connect. For example, you can't just call a gatekeeper and say, can you please put me through to John? This actually sounds salesy and pushy, and gatekeepers wouldn't go ahead with this. For example, as a script that connects, hi, Mrs. Sarah, is this the best time to chat briefly about the efficiency of our product and services and how it can benefit your company? This can easily invite a response, and it's a very soft ask. Or you can use this strategy. Hello, Mrs. Sarah. Is this the best time to chat? I'm calling because we helped a similar company cut costs by 20% with our logistics services. Could I share that with your director, please? This can easily increase connection rates by a reasonable percentage. This strategy also shows care, right? It also shows care. Don't use a script that attracts a yes or no. Another technique is to use the borrowed credibility technique. You know that credibility comes from others, right? So, for example, you can tie this to their CEO. For example, our CEO spoke at the same conference as your CEO last month. But this should go with a lot of research. You should be able to find out whether the CEO actually spoke at a particular conference, right? So you will be able to, as a matter of fact, relate. So our CEO spoke at the same conference as your CEO last month, right? This technique cuts through the noise. You see, gatekeepers trust referrals, and this type of strategy would easily let you get through the gatekeepers. Another technique, just like I told you in my previous video, is to make use of the multi-touch point or the multi-touch persistence without annoying the gatekeeper. So you need to do what we call a smart follow-up without annoying the gatekeeper. So you mix channels. So day one, you call. Day three, you email. Week two, LinkedIn message. Each adds value. So day one, you call. Day three, email. And then 2 weeks time, a LinkedIn message. You can even share a tip. Quick read on logistics efficiency. This is what we call the candidates. 3 touches over 2 weeks. This will actually work. Try to track the response. If silent, just stop. Right? Just stop if silent after all this touch points. Another strategy is to leverage indirect channels to access these gatekeepers and decision makers. You can, as a matter of fact, utilize internal company resources and events. Attend webinars or trade shows of the company. Meet the executives there. That one, no gatekeeper in sight. So it is important to check various companies' calendars and also find out about their open house invitations to other stakeholders. So attend webinars, trade shows, and there you bypass gatekeepers and meet the decision makers directly. You can also make use of internal directories of the company from their website. Some firms share staff lists, right? And sometimes with even their email on their website. So you can also use that, as a matter of fact, to get past the gatekeepers. Meetups at seminars, webinars, and industry meetups works well. Exchange cards and follow up. Afterwards, you can just send a message, great talking at the conference or great meeting you at the conference. And then from there on, you move. You can also use the multi-channel strategy in this instance as well. So like I said earlier on, you can research the company's organizational structure. Some companies, as a matter of fact, can put information about the organizational structure on their website and maybe sometimes in some of their publications. So this will enable you to identify the gatekeeper's boss. So maybe the gatekeeper's boss might be the office manager. And with this, you can also get to a decision maker. So for example, you can say, I'm seeking the best way to share insights on our services with the chief executive. This should be kept very respectful. And there is no way you have to badmouth the gatekeeper. Then you let them know that, or you let the gatekeeper's boss get to know that as the team lead, your guidance would help in sharing this insight with your boss, which would also in effect help the organization. This can easily get you an introduction to the decision maker. Some salespeople have used this strategy. I have used this personally, and it had also worked for me as well. One boss of mine showed me is what we call the content-driven hands-off. He calls it the content-driven hands-off. So you send something of value. For example, a tailor-made video or a report or a case study. And then in the email, you state that this case study matches your growth plans. Or it's worth a quick look. Then in the body of the mail, you state that please pass to the executive, right? It could be a PDF document, it could be a video. This must contain something that they can value, right?